Now this is where the story turns to the 2 steps back part. Harold had a small transmission leak. $30 freaking dollars. Hey friends, welcome back to the shop. If this is your first time here, I'm Art. Dana is unfortunately under the weather this week, so I'm running with this one solo, but I am behind on this work, these different projects with Project Harold, so I've got to get them done. And this one really has 2 main goals to accomplish for this very short episode. 1, to share a couple of new parts that are going on Project Harold, and 2, tell you why in the hell we're putting these new parts on Project Harold. If you're a regular friend of the channel and you're following along on these classic rebuilds, whether it's the Mustang or it's the C10, you know that it is likely 1 step forward, 2 steps back as we start to replace, upgrade, modify, whatever it is, and we're discovering things on it that either may be better done or need to be replaced because they are broken, busted, bent, whatever the case may be. And here we are. So, I may or may not have said this in an earlier episode, but Harold had a small transmission leak. Now, it has a Turbo 400 transmission. It is automatic, but it was just a small leak. It wasn't anything that was major, so it wasn't a priority. But while I was waiting for parts to come in and I started to take things off underneath, I realized, hey, I'm here. Let's go ahead and get this done. And with these C10s, when it comes to the original pans, which this pan is likely the original pan considering the condition of it. It's dented up pretty good, and there is no drain bolt. So the shortcuts to this are take off the bolts on one end, loosen the ones on the sides and the other end, and just kind of teeter it over and let the fluid come out. It's going to be messy. Regardless of how in the hell that you do it, it's a mess. Now, as you know, on any of the work that we do, if we've got to replace a part and we can upgrade it for about the same cost, maybe a little bit more to save us time, make the maintenance on it a lot easier, we're going to end up doing that. So that's what we did with this. We picked up a black Turbo 400 oil or transmission pan that actually has a drain bolt in it, so this will make the maintenance a hell of a lot easier. Now, we picked up the pan that comes along with the gasket from LMC Truck. Really good deal. I think it was like 40, 50 bucks. And with the original pan, there is an actual magnet inside of this. If you're familiar with the transmission pans, through normal wear and tear, you are going to have metal shavings that fall into the fluid, and you want to try to keep those out of your moving parts. So that magnet helps draw those shards over to it. I'd like to show you the one that's on this, but unfortunately when I tossed this pan into my scrap pile, it came off, and who knows where in the world that it went to. But here's a picture of what it actually looks like on these pans. Now, unfortunately, the new pans do not come with a magnet. So, through some research, discovered that these right here are a donut magnet, and these are GM actual parts. So if you look at this part, which I'll put the part number in the description, as well as the link for each of these, you could buy this at AutoZone, Advance, O'Reilly, any of those other stores. And the one that I went to, this magnet, $30. $30 freaking dollars. Exact same part, GM numbers, everything matching, on Amazon for $10. So could not beat it, and goes right in. That right there will hopefully keep the life of the transmission going for many, many more years. Now, this part of the story is where the 2 steps back comes into play. As I'm gathering my bolts, getting ready to bolt the pan back up, I find 12 bolts. I put all the bolts when I'm taking this out in the creeper so I know where they are all at. 13 bolts are required for the pan. I'm looking all over the freaking place, workbench, floor, everywhere trying to find it, could not find it. Look back on the transmission, traced all the bolt locations. Believe it or not, there was a freaking bolt that was broken off in the transmission, which likely could have been a culprit with the leak, since there's no seal there now. So, next project, I have to extract that bolt in order to get the new pan on. Thankfully, I went ahead and purchased a new set of 13 bolts. These are tempered steel for this pan. I'll post a link for those on there as well. But simple little things just keep continuing to take longer and longer. You'd think that I'd be used to it by now. Maybe I'm just a glutton for punishment and I go seek these things out. I have no damn clue. But the benefit to all of this is I'm learning a hell of a lot. And I'm buying newer tools, unique specialty tools that I didn't have a reason for before. Now I'm having to buy those and having to learn on how to use them. So lots of benefits to this as I'm going through this and having fun on this journey. So thank you once again for stopping by the shop, hanging out, learning about some of the new parts, understanding why those new parts are going on, crying along with me. Hopefully you're enjoying it over a beer. But until next episode, which will likely be taking that bolt out and the tools that I'm going to be using it to get that done, we certainly appreciate you watching. Until that next episode comes out, take care, stay safe. We'll see you soon. Bye.